La puerta. Uy. I just saw you.
Take me back to old Yazoo. Everything up here is new. I can't stand it, just must land it.
Sarai is a spiritual investigator and the voice behind Sarai Tugia Energetica, a YouTube channel centered around paranormal communication, energy work, and on-location explorations of haunted and spiritually active places. Her investigations are often direct and emotional, as she seeks to connect with the energies she encounters rather than provoke them. On a recent nighttime visit to a cemetery, she documented what may be one of her most intense and unsettling experiences. The cemetery is already tense as the group begins its walkthrough just after 3 a.m., a time often associated with heightened paranormal activity. The energy of the location is heavy, almost suffocating. From the beginning of the video, there's a strong sense that something is nearby, though unseen. The environment quickly becomes active, with unexplained knocking sounds, distant cries, and movement heard across the grounds.
Ay, caray. Ay, caray. Fue de aquí, fue de aquí. Fue de aquí. Fue de aquí, fue de aquí. ¿Hola? Uy, uy.
Si estás aquí, ¿te puedes manifestar de nuevo?
¿Escuchaste? Golpearon una puerta.
Se escuchan que golpean cosas.
Golpearon una puerta. Uy.
Buenas noches.
Ay, ¿qué está pasando?
Está bien alterado el cementerio. ¿Hola?
¿Hola?
¿Quién está aquí en el cementerio?
Oye, oye, oye. Es acá, es acá, es acá. ¿Escuchas?
Se escucha de todo.
Fue acá, fue acá, fue acá.
¿Buenas? Hola. Si se encuentra alguien aquí en este lugar, por favor, manifiéstese. Si hay aquí con nosotros alguna entidad en este sitio, que le pedimos que en esta noche se manifieste. ¿Hay alguien que está acompañándonos?
Uy, uy, fue acá, fue acá, fue acá. ¿Qué? ¿Escuchaste el golpe?
Sí, pero fue algo bien fuerte. ¿Quién está aquí? Buenas.
Uy. Dijeron mamá. Dijeron mamá.
¿Pequeña?
As the group progresses, they become increasingly aware of a presence following them. Unexplained cold spots settle in, and the sounds grow more direct, closer. What appears to be a small figure is briefly caught on camera near one of the gravestones.
Oh, 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 ay. Sentí como que alguien me tocó. Mira, Saray. Mira. Ay, había alguien parado.
¿Pequeña?
Había alguien parado, había alguien parado. Aquí, 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 aquí.
Cuidado, cuidado porque aquí te caes.
Aquí estaba, aquí estaba.
¿Pequeña?
Yo lo grabé, te lo juro que sí lo alcancé a grabar. Ah, ah, ahí está. Ahí está, ahí está. Se miró otra vez, se miró otra vez. No manches.
A ver, pequeña, si aquí estás, muéstrate. Te lo ordeno que te muestres en este momento.
¿Qué hacemos,
Muéstrate.
Saray?
Es que aquí se siente que está. A ver, te lo estoy ordenando, pequeña, muéstrate.
Ay, no, no,
Siento
qué
que
miedo.
está aquí con nosotros, pues.
Pero no se ve nada.
No, pero literal siento que aquí está con nosotros. Aquí
O
es
sea,
que
ni
se
para dónde
sienta.
voltear.
The investigators are visibly shaken, convinced that whatever they saw was not a living person. Energy begins to concentrate around specific points in the cemetery. Items are moved without explanation.
Mira, mira, mira. Fue
A
eso,
ver,
fue
¿quién
eso.
está aquí con nosotros?
Fue esto. Esta
Si
cuenta
eres
fue.
alguna entidad la que está aquí, le pedimos que en esta noche te manifiestes. A ver, haz que este bote se mueva nuevamente. Si realmente estás aquí, quiero que lo muevas en este momento. Muévelo. A ver, muéstranos que aquí estás en este lugar. Muévelo. A ver, haz que se mueva este bote. Como que algo viene.
Uy.
Algo viene. ¿Quién viene?
Mira.
Y a mis pies.
Y estaba ahí. Y parada.
Exactamente, o sea, que está con nosotros, es lo que nos quiere decir, que aquí está y está con nosotros. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Pequeña?
Hoy, habló.
¿Que jugamos?
Habló.
A ver, vamos a jugar, pues. ¿Cómo quieres que juguemos? ¿Quieres que te mande este bote para atrás? A ver, pequeña, ahí lo tienes. Juega conmigo, pues, muévelo. Muévelo. ¿O con qué quieres que juguemos? No traje juguetes para darte.
Attention turns to a sealed-off section of the grounds where a strange odor permeates the air. An infestation of cockroaches surrounds what looks to be a makeshift altar, suggesting past ritual use. The investigators speculate whether the site may have been used for offerings or occult activity, though its origin remains unclear. Beneath the surface-level fear is something more tragic, something childlike. Repeated audio cues and the general tone of the interaction suggest a young spirit may be trying to reach out. But as the encounter continues, the atmosphere shifts. What felt innocent and playful begins to take on a more manipulative, possibly deceptive nature. The behavior becomes erratic. Items are thrown. The energy around the group becomes oppressive. Shadows move just outside of the camera's field of view. The location itself seems to react to their presence. Distant cries evolve into guttural sounds. Movement echoes from several directions at once. There's a growing suspicion that what they're interacting with may not be what it first seemed. The tone of the group hardens as the situation moves from investigative to defensive. The line between spirit communication and spiritual manipulation blurs, leaving everyone on edge. At the edge of the cemetery, a locked and partially collapsed structure seems to be a focal point. It's there that the strongest manifestations occur. Sounds, smells, and movement intensify. One of the investigators records what looks like a second appearance of the figure, again fleeting and partially obscured by shadow. No one is able to verify what it was, but its proximity to the altar raises concern. By the end of the investigation, there are no clear answers. The supposed spirit never makes itself fully visible. The voice heard on audio could be interpreted multiple ways, and the physical phenomena, while intense, offers no definitive conclusion. But the emotional residue left behind speaks volumes. Something was there, whether it was a child spirit, a trickster entity, or residual energy tied to darker practices. The experience left its mark. The group exits with more questions than they arrived with, and the cemetery returns to silence, guarding whatever secrets were momentarily stirred. What did you think of this encounter? Let me know your thoughts on this. Before moving to the next encounter, I just want to take this moment to thank and congratulate you all because we have crossed 50,000 subscribers. Our 50K special free surprise was revealed, and almost all of you seem to love it. I'm beyond blessed to have you as community, and I'm more committed than ever to bring you the best and most entertaining videos possible. I aim to take this channel to #1, and I will do that no matter what. So, subscribe and enjoy the show. Our next goal is 100,000 subscribers before August. Once we reach that, I'll reveal another awesome surprise for you all. Now back to the video. Uploaded on March 29th, 2025, this episode from the channel Ghost Theory documents what quickly became one of the most unsettling nights the team has ever recorded. The investigation takes place inside an abandoned care home nestled in the English countryside, an aging, decaying structure with long dark hallways and mold-ridden walls. Once a place of healing, the building now stands derelict, with only whispers and shadows occupying the rooms that once held life. Before beginning their investigation, the team leaves 5 cameras positioned throughout the care home. Their goal is to capture any paranormal activity without interference, observing what might occur when no one is present. They retreat to their car, parked a distance away, and wait. Within the first hour, the equipment picks up what sounds like someone running in the upstairs hallway. Heavy, fast footsteps echoing along the floor. There are no animals in the building and no wind or obvious explanation. The sound is abrupt and distinct, as if someone was charging directly toward the camera. Later, while investigating the same area in person, the team experiences something similar.
I can't.
Just stop. This literally just sounds like someone just, like almost wet footsteps.
Can you understand us?
And honestly, it just sounded like wet footsteps. Not slow either. Because what was you thinking? You wouldn't have shoes on if you had wet feet, is what I'm thinking. Is it the shower? There's no shower room in this.
Shower room? That's not.
I thought that. No, there isn't like a shower or anything.
Footsteps, wet, barefoot sounding, move rapidly toward them before vanishing into silence. There's no water, no shower, and nothing around to account for the sound. A Polaroid camera is set up to try to capture visual evidence, and moments after they call out for any presence to show itself, an object is launched across the hallway.
Let me.
We have got it.
Seriously. Wow. Thank you so much.
We've got the perfect shot. Both.
That has just been thrown out of this room. I'm gonna.
It's a spring.
Pass me the camera. I want to keep this. Just pass.
Pass what?
The camera.
Oh.
Can you take the. What the
What's going on
I don't
there?
know. Right, take that. And I want to show inside here. Oh, we showed it anyway, straight after the spring. How can a spring come out of the bathroom like this? Where would a spring even be, other than in the flusher or something? What the f*** it works? I mean, it's very clear there's nothing and no one in here that can throw a spring, right?
Right.
It's a metal spring, ejected from the direction of the bathroom. No one is inside. The space is empty, with no visible mechanism or surface that could have triggered the movement. The spring appears on cue, as if in direct response to their request. They comb the area, searching for any explanation. Things escalate when a door that was visibly shut on camera suddenly swings open behind one of the investigators. Reviewing the footage confirms the door had been firmly closed just moments before. The timing of the movement, only seconds after they turned their backs, adds to the unease. These aren't isolated events. They're part of a consistent pattern unfolding in the same wing of the building. The atmosphere continues to shift. A sense of being watched settles in, with the investigators repeatedly drawn to a dark corner near an empty box. Quiet knocks and floor creaks return, followed by the unmistakable sound of something scraping. They question whether the entity they're communicating with is even benevolent. The energy in the building becomes heavy, the mood darker. At one point, they attempt a more confrontational approach, testing whether increased pressure will provoke further response. But the entity does not respond in kind. Instead, the activity becomes quieter, more subtle. Light taps, distant movement, a slow fade into silence. By 5 a.m., the team is drained. Emotionally and physically exhausted, they end the investigation without definitive proof of what they encountered, but with an overwhelming amount of unexplained phenomena. The thrown objects, disembodied footsteps, door movements, and emotional weight of the location left a lasting impression. Despite their experience and skepticism, the team is left with few explanations that don't involve something paranormal. In their own words, it was one of the most active nights they've ever recorded, and even after reviewing the footage, many of the events captured remain completely unexplainable. Uncanny Expeditions is a YouTube channel known for combining wilderness camping with investigations into secret government sites, conspiracies, and unexplained aerial phenomena. The creator frequently pushes the boundaries of access and legality to explore the edges of high-security facilities scattered across the American Southwest. In this episode, he sets out for an overnight stay just beyond the perimeter of the Hellendale Radar Cross-Section facility, a classified Lockheed Martin skunk work site located deep in the Mojave Desert. The facility is rumored to house next-generation stealth aircraft and possibly even reverse-engineered unidentified aerial phenomena. Built in the 1980s at the height of the Cold War, it was designed to hide aircraft from foreign spy satellites using an underground prep area and a massive, retractable pylon, which raises the craft above ground only during radar testing. The secrecy of the location, along with its link to skunkworks, Lockheed's Black Project Division, has long made it a hotspot for speculation. After navigating a network of desert trails and monitoring activity along the facility's perimeter, the creator eventually sets up camp on a hill overlooking the base. He's careful to remain on public land while documenting what appears to be routine exterior movement, security trucks, distant aircraft, and ground activity near the gates.
Alright, well, I'm at the front gate. All I see right now are some security trucks parked there, but I haven't seen any activity. It's possible there's somebody in the booth, I just can't see them. I just saw a guy come out of that trailer there and go into the booth. Presumably that's the guy who mans the guard shack. Got a couple different security cameras out front there. There's a close-up shot of some of the security vehicles. Got a Chevy pickup and a Dodge Charger behind it there. I was trying to figure out what that sign was. Evidently a warning about desert tortoises.
But it's only after sunset that things begin to shift. As darkness falls, vehicles arrive, and activity inside the base increases.
Looks like another vehicle's arriving. It went in through the front gate and it's now driving down the test area. As the sun started to set behind the mountains, I got settled into my observation point for the night. First thing I noticed is that more and more vehicles were arriving as the sun was going down.
Through the use of night vision equipment, he observes what appears to be a radar cross-section test in progress. A hatch opens on the ground, something invisible to the naked eye, and a platform begins to rise. Mounted on it is an aircraft that had been kept hidden underground until that moment. The aircraft is slowly rotated on the pylon, likely so that its radar profile can be measured from multiple angles. Throughout this process, external lighting remains completely off, and the only indication of activity is visible through enhanced optics. Security vehicles continue to patrol, occasionally circling the area with hazard lights on, another indication of ongoing operations. The experience is made even more intense by the frequent appearance of drones, which fly overhead throughout the night. Whether used for facility surveillance or area monitoring is unclear, but their presence is constant. The creator remains in place for hours, documenting as much as possible from over a mile away using a custom setup involving a night vision monocular stacked against a spotting scope. What stands out in this encounter is the combination of precision, secrecy, and intentional concealment. Unlike traditional paranormal events or folklore-driven locations, this site is very real, and the activity observed is tangible. Yet the aircraft seen during the radar test is not public knowledge. There's no record, no statement, and no official acknowledgement of what was being tested, only the footage, captured discreetly from a nearby hill. By morning, the creator leaves the area without incident, though clearly shaken by the magnitude of what he witnessed. The site returned to silence, the hatch sealed once again, and the test aircraft vanishing as quickly as it had appeared. Though nothing explicitly paranormal occurred, the encounter stands out due to the highly classified nature of the location and the unexplainable technology observed. For viewers, the footage raises more questions than it answers. What kind of craft was being tested? Was it human-made or the product of reverse engineering, something not of this world? And most importantly, how much else happens at sites like these, completely hidden from public view? What did you make of this encounter? Like always, let me know. Posted to YouTube on January 8th, 2025, this footage from the UK-based channel Haunted Finders started out as a typical forest investigation, but quickly turned into one of the most unnerving nights the team has ever filmed. Known for exploring some of England's most haunted and remote places, the team set out deep into a forest they hadn't visited in nearly 3 years. A location with a long history of strange sightings, disembodied voices, and unexplained phenomena. But what they encountered this time wasn't just paranormal. It was something much more immediate and far more dangerous. The forest itself is expansive and isolated. With no nearby homes or passing traffic, the team had to drive miles down unlit dirt roads just to reach their starting point. Surrounded in all directions by thick woodland, they began picking up faint, fragmented responses from their spirit communication equipment almost immediately.
Spirit talker. See what we get on this. I'm going to leave the app running and stick it in my pocket so I can use my torch because it's absolutely pitch black.
Can you come close to us and make these lights go off, please? That's how we know that you're here around us.
You can use the device here in my pocket to talk to us.
Beware of the dark.
Beware of the dark.
Thanks for that. We're in the middle of the forest now.
In the
Could have told
dark.
us down there.
Yeah.
We're on the main road.
Why do we need to beware? Is there somebody here that we should beware of?
Many of these responses were cryptic, warnings about a woman, strange references to creatures, and repeated phrases urging them to beware. As they moved deeper into the woods, things escalated. The atmosphere shifted from eerie to tense. They began hearing voices. Some sounded distant, others childlike or whispering just beyond view.
Is there somebody following us? A lot of different people have seen strange things in this forest. Are you one of those things? What was that a minute ago?
Several times they were led down trails by what seemed to be intelligent responses from their devices, telling them which direction to go. The forest, pitch black and dense, began to feel less like a haunted space and more like a trap. Then things took a dramatic turn. While scanning the area with torches, one of the investigators spotted a figure.
Hello? Hello? I just saw you. We're just here for a walk. We're not going to do anything, just shout back so we know you're there. That was a person. Hey?
I wasn't looking that way.
Oh, there's a car coming down the thingy truck. What's he doing down here? There's been no cars coming down here the whole time we've been here.
Someone hiding in the darkness near their parked car. The person had no light, was crouched just beyond view, and immediately ran when spotted. Not long after, a flashlight appeared in the woods, followed by a high-pitched scream that echoed across the trees.
What? That was a scream! Holy shit, David!
What scream?
Did you hear the woman scream?
Yeah.
David, he's walking up. He's walking up the road. He's going to the road. Get in the car. Oh shit. Open the door. Get in the car. Get in the car. A woman's just pissed and screamed and he's just creeping down the road, Law. Look at him, he's there. He's there on the road.
Right, get him, film him.
David, pull off.
What do you mean?
Start the car.
It didn't come from any of the investigators. It came from deeper in the forest. Moments later, the unknown man emerged from the woods and began walking toward them, torch in hand. He didn't respond to their calls, didn't acknowledge them, and continued silently approaching the vehicle. As panic set in, the team retreated to their car, locking the doors as the man walked directly toward them on the road. He didn't stop. He didn't speak. Just as he reached the car, he veered off into a side trail and disappeared. They tried to rationalize the event, questioning why anyone would be out in the woods alone in the dead of night, with no visible purpose and no communication. His behavior was deliberate, calculated, and silent. More disturbing was the realization that he had been watching them long before they saw him, waiting in the shadows without using a light, likely listening to everything they said. There was no indication that he was a hiker or local. There were no parked vehicles nearby, and the scream heard just before he appeared adds another disturbing layer to the night. The encounter ended with the team speeding away from the area, too shaken to continue. Though they've spent countless nights in haunted buildings and forests, they made it clear. What truly scared them that night wasn't a spirit, it was the living. Franco, the face behind the Franco Travels YouTube channel, is no stranger to unsettling places. His content blends urban exploration with paranormal investigation, often diving headfirst into abandoned factories, haunted houses, and long-forgotten locations across the world. But during a solo trip to Chile, what he intended as a standard exploration of an abandoned factory took a far more disturbing turn, one involving real human danger and a property steeped in horrifying history. The location is massive, a sprawling complex of crumbling walls, long corridors, and isolated outbuildings. What sets this site apart isn't just the scale or its decaying state, but its story.
Now, if you guys aren't aware of where I'm at the factory where the owner would pretty much every time she had a worker that died or passed away on her property, she would take their bodies and bury it on the property, not even notifying their family or anything, which pretty much came to being why this place was so haunted, was because the owner would just take those bodies and just bury it all around the factory, which is ridiculous. No one knew about it for years until after she passed away. Then they found human remains or excrements or whatever thrown around the graveyard or the factory, which is pretty much a graveyard. And that's how this place got its notoriety.
Locals claim that during its operational years, the factory's owner had a sinister practice. When workers died on site, whether from accidents or natural causes, their bodies were often buried somewhere on the property without notifying their families. After the owner's death, human remains were found scattered across the land, hidden in cellars, pits, and beneath floors. The factory, now defunct, is rumored to be a mass grave hidden in plain sight. Franco's goal was to explore it during the day to avoid the dangers of wandering an unstable structure at night. But early into his walkthrough, he realizes he's not alone. Signs of active habitation appear quickly.
Oh, shit. Look at this. Someone is definitely living out here. Look. It's like somebody's rations, some medication. What is that called? Prospero claftatorio. And some pills. A knife. And this is their belongings. I definitely gotta be careful. Garlic and some more spoons. Now that I just seen somebody's secret living area in here, it kind of got me a little bit more paranoid because the stuff in here does not look old, so it looks like it's still in use. I don't know if this person's going to be returning tonight or not, but I guess we'll find out.
Rationed food is laid out carefully, and he stumbles upon what is clearly someone's hidden living space. Medication, kitchen utensils, personal belongings, even a knife are scattered throughout the room. The items aren't dusty or abandoned. They've been used recently. Tension rises as Franco moves deeper into the factory. In one room, he finds photos of weapons and religious materials left behind.
So now I'm a little bit paranoid because there's another room right over here. And I'm already seeing clothes. Hola? Oh my god, it smells pretty bad in here. So, I am definitely not gonna be the only one here. There's stuff everywhere. Oh, that's very enlightening. Pictures of guns. Hopefully this person is not armed. trash. This is their shoe and a Bible. All right. Some more clothes.
The further he goes, the more he spots additional signs of life. Footsteps echoing through empty corridors, clothing hanging near collapsed walls, and the chilling sound of distant voices coming from deeper inside the structure. As he attempts to backtrack, he finds that many of the exits are blocked off. Metal gates and broken fencing prevent a quick escape, and it becomes increasingly clear that the building's layout is a maze. He maneuvers through collapsed stairways and unstable walkways, all while continuing to hear distant movement. Each turn reveals more evidence that someone, or multiple people, are using this abandoned place as a shelter. Eventually, Franco stumbles into an area that appears to be a junkyard, filled with wrecked and rusted vehicles.
Look at this. This is the way into the junkyard area where there's like a whole bunch of abandoned cars. Let's see what changed through here. Looks like a bomb went off. I can't even get through. So one of the rumors that I heard about this place was that apparently all these cars are pretty much the vehicles of the victims that passed away in car accidents. And their cars are completely totaled. And sometimes a passenger or their driver or a family member passed away in the car and they don't want the car anymore, so they completely junk it or whatever. And either all or some of these cars are cars from people who passed away in a car accident. So that's some food for thought. I mean, just looking at how it looks like just walking through here doesn't look like anybody made it. Looks like something you would see in a tornado.
Locals say that many of these cars belong to victims of fatal accidents. Families, unable to retrieve or repair the vehicles, abandon them here. Some believe the area is haunted not just because of the factory's past, but because these vehicles are tied to sudden, violent deaths. Broken windshields, twisted metal, and even articles of clothing hint at what might have happened in each one. Despite the overwhelming unease, Franco continues deeper into the heart of the site, even approaching a large statue of the factory's former owner, whip in hand, as if frozen in her authoritarian reign. She's remembered here not with reverence, but fear. According to local lore, she ruled the facility with cruelty, overseeing laborers and keeping order through violence. Her likeness now stands alone among the debris, a monument to a terrifying legacy. The exploration ends with Franco visibly shaken. Despite not encountering the mysterious inhabitants face to face, the signs were undeniable. He was being watched. Whoever was inside the factory had no interest in revealing themselves, but they were aware of him, and possibly tracking his movements throughout the property. While most of Franco's investigations focus on the paranormal, this one blurred the lines. The atmosphere wasn't just haunted by history, it was alive, unsettled, and unpredictably dangerous. Like always, I'll let you draw your own conclusions to this encounter as well. Uploaded on April 13th, 2025, this video from the Turkish YouTube channel Outdoor Family documents what begins as a serene spring camping trip and slowly unfolds into a battle against the elements. Known for their peaceful, family-oriented outdoor adventures, the channel often shares footage of quiet lakeside camps, cozy forest setups, and tranquil moments in nature. But on this trip, the family is forced to abandon their campsite, not due to anything paranormal or threatening, but because of something even more unpredictable. The day starts beautifully. Surrounded by blooming trees and the calming sounds of frogs and birds, the family sets up camp beside a small scenic lake. The children explore, the tent goes up easily, and everything seems perfect for a relaxing night under the stars. Despite some wind and muddy patches, the mood remains joyful as they settle in with tea and enjoy the fresh air. But by the afternoon, the weather begins to shift. Clouds roll in. Rain starts to fall, gently at first, then heavier. Thunder begins to echo through the forest. The family, still calm, decides to take shelter in their car to wait it out. For a while, it works. The rain comes in waves, and when it lets up, they try returning to their tent. That's when the wind picks up, fast and hard. The tent begins to buckle under the pressure. Parts of the frame snap. Mud is everywhere, and the thunder returns, louder than before. It becomes clear that the storm isn't passing through quickly. It's building. In the interest of safety, the family makes the tough decision to pack up and leave.
Burası ısınmış.
Evet hava çok kötü. Evet.
Hani hava çok kötü ya. Toparlayalım arabaya.
Tamam canım tamam. Hadi.
Kapat gidelim.
Even as they gather their belongings, the challenges keep mounting. The car starts to slide on the soaked ground. Debris scatters through the campsite. Their well-planned setup quickly becomes a scene of rushed movements, wet clothing, and a dash back to shelter. Unlike other stories where ghostly voices or unknown figures send people running from the woods, this encounter serves as a reminder of something much simpler. Nature doesn't ask permission to change its mood. One moment, the forest feels like paradise. The next, it turns against you. Sometimes, the most powerful force trying to keep us from camping isn't something paranormal or sinister. It's nature itself. With this final encounter comes the end of another episode. You know what to do, but if you don't, let me remind you again to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment about what you liked and didn't like about this video. We are always looking to improve our video quality so you get the best videos possible. In about 3 seconds, there will be more disturbing videos on screen for you to watch. And with that, I'm out.